Welcome to the Box Score Sports Podcast.
Okay, you ready to do some Lukewarmers?
Yeah.
So I already mentioned the Celtics. We don't have to get into that. Give me your first Lukewarmer.
The Knicks
Hmm.
gave up Robinson. We talked about it. They brought in Drummond. I don't think it's the end of the world because Mitchell Robinson is like an injury risk, and I don't like. What did he play? 13 minutes a game in the finals. Like you can probably survive. So, and they can always address that, right? If they're going to stay out of the second apron, you can aggregate salary and make a trade. So they left that on the table. So I don't feel like the Knicks are like a precipitously worse team.
Sure.
Might give them a little trouble, but you're like, all right, it's the Knicks. As long as their other guys they have are healthy, we're probably running it back as the top 4 seed. So
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one. I have the Heat as a Lukewarmer. I understand you gotta make that like you gotta go big game hunting. I'm still really interested between the Bam and Giannis fit. It's just kind of like a weird one. They're gonna probably be pretty good defensively, at least at the front court, but we'll see what happens. It's just really what are they gonna do around them? They added Hardaway Jr. They brought in Bobby Portis, probably both those guys for shooting. I don't think that's obviously enough, but I'm very lukewarm when it comes to them. I don't know where to put them, and when we have to do our like predictions at the beginning of the season of like who do we have finishing where, I don't think the Heat are going to be in the top like five of the East right now. So
yep, same boat. Like you got Giannis, and I understand the whole process of why you want to do that. That's like Miami's thing. For them, literally this year, as far as like competing, is it basically right now comes down to if they get LeBron or not. Like if they
mhm.
don't get LeBron and you settle with like Bradley Beal and DeMar DeRozan, like awesome, congratulations, you're going to be at the bottom of the playoff bracket. Because besides Bam, like there's no one else on the Heat where you're like, oh my gosh, this team is
Right.
super. I think if they don't get LeBron, they're in essence playing for 2027, 2028, when they'll have more options with how they structured the Wiggins deal and so forth. So without LeBron, they probably, it's hard to put someone in the loser category because you traded for Giannis, but
Right.
if you don't get LeBron and this is kind of the team with the minimums you're going to fill out, I mean, if Bam misses time, you're dead on arrival. If Giannis plays 50 games, you're dead on arrival. And I even think healthy, like they're not beating the top 4 teams in the East. So
Yeah, it's funny because like you see what for Anthony Simon signs for, and you're just like, how doesn't the Heat just kind of like do that? Like because he's a guard, he can shoot coming off the bench, and you need spacing with Bam and Giannis. But I don't know. Anyway, give me another lukewarm team for you.
Rockets, what they again really haven't done anything. They brought Tari Eason back. Now Kevin Durant is posting photos with the Detroit hat in it. But to this point, the Rockets have like done nothing that makes you think, wow, we're super better. Besides, what's his name is back, point guard. God,
Fred VanVleet.
so old. Yeah, Van Vliet. He's back, but he's coming off an ACL, a year older. Outside of that, they basically decided to this point to run it back. So, uh, you know, maybe they'll be a little better, or Van Vliet lost that step with an ACL and it won't look any better.
That's true. Yeah, I got the Denver Nuggets as a lukewarmer. I understand like they're healthy. They can be a team that competes to a certain level in the West, like they're probably in that second tier, right? But the problem is like they're trying to compete with the Spurs and Thunder, so they just signed Marvin Bagley, and it's like, okay, what are they doing? So it sounds like they want to keep Cam Johnson, or they don't. I don't know. They want to keep like their guys, but then they're like everyone's up for sale. So I don't actually know. Honestly, what to make of them. I think the reason why I put them in a lukewarm is because I still think they'll make a move. So I'm lukewarm on them going into the season because it's like you're kind of the only other team that I would consider a Western Conference contender. And if you don't do anything more than just starring Marvin Bagley, you're going to kind of be a loser at this point.
Yeah, and they still have to figure out what they're doing with Peyton Watson. Like,
Right. That's the
I
other
know, I
thing.
know all those reports of like, oh, they're fine spending money. You know, again, the Nuggets are one of those teams. You're like, I'll believe it when I see it because they
Mhm.
rarely pay any luxury tax stuff. But, um, you know, and Jokic not signing the extension this year. I know he can wait to next year and do 5 years, and there's it's a benefit to that. But the route he's going, he is an unrestricted free agent next year. So from his aspect, if the Nuggets have a 2025-2026 Milwaukee Bucks-esque season,
Yeah.
um, he could walk for nothing.
Right.
And I'm not saying the Nuggets are going to trade him. He keeps saying he wants to play for the Nuggets, but you leave the door open when you go all the way to unrestricted free agency like KD did with the Thunder.
Right.
So that also makes it like it's real this year for the Thunder. I mean, for the Nuggets, if they flame out or it goes bad, like unless Jokic just really likes it there and that's what he wants to do, it's easy for him to be like, yeah, I want to retire a Nugget, but this team's done.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree. So it's they got to do something. I don't know. And like we heard all the same things with Giannis, right? Right before it started to get bad. So like, oh, I want to stay here. I love it here. And it's not that Giannis didn't, but I know like obviously when you play at that higher level, you want a chance to win. So anyway, any other lukewarm teams?
I put the Pistons in there for right now.
Mhm.
I mean, basically you swapped. Well, you lost Stewart. I guess I could have put him in a slightly negative, but we'll wait. But for right now, like you swapped Tobias for, um,
Collins.
oh my gosh, I feel like a 90-year-old dude today who can't remember names.
Like John Collins.
Like I'm looking at it, like dude, I wrote this down. For John Collins, that's like a sideways move. Like Tobias Harris had a really good year. He's probably not repeating it. John Collins is a little bigger, whatever. So up until this point, it's like the Pistons are like, all right, well, let's see what they do. They're clearing cap space. They obviously have some plans. We're just waiting for the rest to fall out. So at the same time, it's like lukewarm. Let's see if you have something up your sleeve that's awesome, or we're gonna do something crazy.
Yeah. So with I think right now they're being held hostage to see what the Duran thing. Yeah. I think they might have a move in place. That's everybody thinks they do because of all the moves they're making. But they have to wait until the Duran thing gets resolved to know exactly what cap all the cap works out. Like someone did say, if they sign Duran for 35, I guess with the moves they made, they can fit KD under the apron or something like that. I'm like, oh, maybe that's the big move that they're waiting to do. So we'll see what happens. But really, I have them down there too. Stewart for Reed. Like I think people like you just lost Isaiah Stewart, but no, well, they didn't just lose him. They're replacing him with Paul Reed, who Paul Reed kind of deserves the minutes. So it's not like they're losing a backup center. They're actually fine there. Like you said, Collins for Harris, and then they added a Corey and Isaiah Joe, which makes them a little bit better. But they're gonna where they're gonna suffer. I don't think they'll be the number two defense next year. Like so, I think what they've decided to maybe do is what me and you said they should have done last year. And like they're going to develop their young talent and be like, okay, we're going to just surround everybody with shooters, and we're going to let Asar be the secondary ball handler and see if he can develop in that. It's a year too late, but I think that's what they're trying to do. That's all. Like even when getting Prince, it's like, well, he shoots 40% from three. Everybody that they kind of brought in shoots like somewhere between 39 to 40%, 41% from three, which indicates to me that they're like, we're just going to have a bunch of floor spacers and just let the young guys develop, which is what I wanted them to do last year. But that saying you always say it gets early quick. What
Gets
is it?
late early.
It gets late early. That's it. It's like, okay, but you're already signing Duran to the extension. You're 35 probably is what they want to sign him for. And then you already got an extension in place for, it sounds like everything I've heard is there's already an extension in place for Asar and they're waiting until the Duran thing resolves itself before they sign him. So you're already going to sign him and you're committing. So it's almost like a bummer that they waited one whole year before they're doing this. And that's kind of the vibes I'm getting right now. So we'll see if that's what the trend, because even if they got Murphy the third, it's like that guy's really just a really good spot up shooter and slasher. He's not like a shot creating playmaker. So it still kind of leaves a hole there. So I'm wondering if that's done intentionally to make JB Bickerstaff like develop these young guys because like that's a Levert move. Everyone's like, yeah, this is so he's forced to play the young guys. And I'm like, that's probably it. Yeah. So we'll
Yeah.
see. But I'm with you, lukewarm.
Yeah. Sometimes you have to force the coach to be like, hey, you have no other options. Give the ball to Asar and let him try to figure something out with it. And if he can't do it, then we'll address it at the trade deadline. But I think you're right. I hope you're right because I do hate seeing a team on the come up that like has struggled for a long time, like finally kind of get close to the mountaintop and then like whether they overpay guys or whether they the Wizards are down here, but do something like the Wizards where you're like, oh my gosh, what are we doing?
Yeah.
So I hope the Pistons aren't in the attempt to do that. Like I hope if they are trading for KD, it's not like, we're giving away the farm for
Right.
800-year-old Kevin Durant in
They
2 years
should.
or whatever. But I'll hold out hope that they do the right thing and that they're just squeezing Duran and Duran is just going to each team and like praying for a miracle.
Hmm.
But you would think at this point, I actually thought it would like come down like Monday or Tuesday, like
Yeah.
once the trade started happening, like, hey, dude, it's this or nothing. We're not trading you. Like, let's pick a number. And then when the Levert deal, like it got included in, I'm like, okay, well, they have to, they're like, they have to know the number. Like they have to know the number. And that's why they're doing this to line
Yep.
up. If you get the Duran number, then like you said, any other trade, you sign Duran last because you can go all the way up to the apron with your own guy. It's but we're now on Wednesday at 2:06 in the afternoon, and nothing is happening with these guys. So there's a temporary logjam.
Yeah, yeah. I think and just being in Piston Twitter, everybody's frustrated that the Pistons haven't made like the big move or whatever. And it's just like, guys, you realize like they're trying to do this like a way that's not going like Duran is the first priority. Once they figure that out, maybe there's another move. The other option is if you look at the contracts they sign, a lot of like mid like 9 million a year, 17 million a year, 11 million. Like it's like, well, we could wait, try this out, and then maybe they'll have something in the works by the trade deadline. Let's give Asar till the trade deadline, and then maybe we'll figure it out there or whatever. So we'll see what happens, but I'm with you. It's definitely lukewarm, and I just think like it's funny we praise Langdon for like kind of like winning the staring match, but now it's like well, now Duran's doing his dirty work, not, quote unquote dirty work. And now he's kind of holding the Pistons hostage here too. So yeah,
Yeah.
kind of interesting. We'll see how it plays out.
And I think the Bucks fans have been the same way. I think you forget like these transactions have to happen in a certain order, which don't make sense, and you don't have to be like read all 10 billion pages of the collective bargaining agreement, but like the Pistons have to know before they make these different trades. There's an order that
Hmm.
you have to sign things. And the same with the Bucks. You're like, well, they have 17 guys, they got to make these trades. And you're like, well, you have to like line these up and you
Yeah.
have deadlines and you can't just be like, oh, we like him, let's sign him because if you promise to sign someone and then the other three things fall through, you don't have the money to sign them.
Yeah. Correct.
Right? Or you
Correct.
don't have the money to then pay Duran. And you're like, hey, sorry, Jalen. I know we said 36, but we can only do 32 now because we promised so and so. It just you have these log jams, and you would think it'd be more obvious, but you know how fans get when their own team because we see this all the time where like one thing happens, like the Giannis trade finally happened, and then we got like 8 or 9 things, and then it logs up again because LeBron is holding up that mid-level
Hmm.
and teams like the Bucks, the Pistons are waiting because if the Cavs need to unload someone, the Bucks would be like, "Hey there, trade exception here, send us a swap." Or the Nuggets, same thing with Peyton Watson. Like these teams are just waiting, and as soon as LeBron picks, I bet you the rest of that day, 5, 6, 7, 8 of these guys just fall into line.
Yeah. I'm kind of hoping that part of me, oh, well, never mind. I won't talk about it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, but you're right. I think the LeBron James things, dominoes will fall. Duran, same thing. So we'll see what happens. Okay, man. Any other lukewarmers?
No.
Thanks so much for watching this clip of the Box Score Sports podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to our channel. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter or X. And we'll talk to you guys real soon. See ya.